Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, I am so very happy to be showing you the Wendigo Build-A-Figure wave Mr. Sinister as part of the X-Men batch of New Marvel Legends. If you guys have paid attention to my stuff recently, in this past year, you know that I have been very much excited for this figure. I love Mr. Sinister as a character and as a character design, and it looked as though Hasbro might not Hasbro it up too much. And so I was very, very excited for it. And now that it's in my hand, I have mixed feelings. There are some things about this which I love. And then there are some things about this which are stinky poo-poo. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about a little under 7 1/4 inches to the top of his head, which makes him pretty close to 18 centimeters, right around there. And for this look, they did a pretty good job. One thing they absolutely nailed on this guy is the metallic blue. It looks gorgeous. The metallic blue mixed with the glossy blue mixed with the matte blue. It's a very, very appealing overall. I love it. The dark red on there is also very nice. I like that a lot too. Here's the thing. Okay, you know what? We'll get to the thing in a minute. Proportions on this guy look very nice. Overall, he's very well done. They're still making the lower legs pretty long and kind of chunky, but in this one, especially because of the way his boots flare out, it gives him a much better appeal because his thighs look thicker, the rest looks narrower, and it's very nice. His shoulders are not sticking particularly far forward, so that's pretty good. I think the head is probably seated really nicely also, and it does help that the shoulder pads and collar kind of hide all of that stuff, but that's good. The sculpt for the head, let's see if I can just smack the camera really hard. Sculpt for the head is exactly what it should be for this character. I love it. I like it a whole bunch. Okay, so now it's time for the paint. Well, look at the chest. The very tip of the red thing is not red. It came that way in the package, scratched off all the red paint on the tip, so it looks stupid. The face has gray stuff all over it on the one side. That doesn't look good. And then there's some more on this side, on his cheekbone again. They also put his chin thing not where it's supposed to be. It's off center. It doesn't line up with his sculpt. So that's definitely a bummer. At first when I opened this guy, it looked like his skin was actually kind of a pinkish hue, but right now it looks pretty white, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. But then they also did a pretty fuzzy job of painting the hair. So it doesn't look anywhere near as much as good as I was hoping it would, but even if it was just those things, it wouldn't really bother me too much. The biggest problem for this guy is they Hasbro'd the crap out of the cape. In concept, it's okay. It has a nice shiny blue, really dark shiny blue on there, which is nice. The red on this side is nice. I believe they painted the blue onto the red, but either way, it looks really good. No issues as far as the coloration goes. But they sculpted it off center, but it's not windswept. I don't like it when they're windswept either, but this one's just sculpted off center. It's like 30% this way to his side, but it's curving this way. So it doesn't make sense. Some are pointing this way, some are pointing... It's like they don't pay any attention to their sculpts. They don't have any purpose or reason. They're just doing things. They're just sculpting to sculpt. It doesn't make any sense, and it throws off the look of the figure. Why? Just hang it down the center. Make it balanced on either side. It doesn't have to be symmetrical, but it should be balanced on both sides, and this is not, so it looks goofy. The other issue is we have these two layers of cape parts that are sculpted curved. Yet they're sculpted and put together so that they hang completely flat. There's no depth to it at all. It looks ridiculous. It looks so stupid. The only time it looks okay is from the front, but then we have the other issue. But as far as the depth goes, you don't notice it from the front. But how stupid does it look to be completely flat like that? That's so lame. And all they had to do was sculpt it out. Just have the two layers, make the curve more. It's not like it's gravity, this is sculpted this way. They could have just separated them a little bit and it would have been good, but they didn't, so that sucks. And then the last thing they did, which is stupid and sucky, is they sculpted the individual tassels to each other. Instead of just making a whole bunch of them individual so that they hang around and move more organically and naturally, they're all sculpted to each other. For no apparent reason. Like, why? Why? It makes it look cheap and crappy. They don't hang naturally because of it. That's not, like, they ruined the cape. That was like the easiest part, and they ruined it. They have it. Make this curve a little more obtuse. Make them individual pieces. Done. Easy. They screwed the cape up on every front except for paint, which is surprising, but the cape is screwed up. Luckily, it's not as big of a deal as it sounds because you can kind of ignore it if you stick them on a shelf and only look at them from the front. Boy, the ankles are loose. And then it doesn't stand out as much. But for a figure like this where everybody was so excited, kind of a big deal. One other thing, the last thing for aesthetics. This hand is huge compared to this hand. Yeah, I get that it's an open hand and a fist hand. They're not the same size hands. Not even close. It's kind of ridiculous. So, that's kind of stupid. Oh, it's so disappointing when they're like halfway awesome on this figure and halfway butt cheeks. I don't get it. I don't get it. So, aesthetics on this guy. Hold on. There's one. I forgot. There's another one. I was gonna leave this in articulation, but look at his feet. They don't fit. They don't fit on his ankles. This is unacceptable. This is a company who nets like $5 billion a year. That's pure profit. And they're doing things like this. I don't care that they make money, but how about they make a good product and then make money? This is not acceptable no matter what. There's no excuse for that. That's not a subjective thing. The foot does not fit on the leg. Aesthetics on this guy, 6 out of 10. Only because I'm so pissed off about the ankle and the cape. Otherwise, like, it's so close to being like a 10 out of 10. It hurts me to not have a good review on this guy because I want it to be so good and they got so close. So close to it being awesome. As far as accessories go, 0 out of 10. None. Alright, as far as articulation goes, we have our ball peg hinge combo for the head. You're not going to get much out of it because of the collar, but it does move forward and back. You can, of course, rotate it side to side. Does it lean at all? No, it doesn't. Shoulder pads are all connected up here, so they're going to definitely get in the way, but they are soft, so you can still pose his arms a little bit going forward. Obviously, going back's okay. Going out to the side, excellent range. That's awesome. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbow works really nicely. That's fine. Wrists have a swivel and a hinge. That's okay. These are floating glove pieces. Ab crunch goes back enough, and it looks pretty good. Sculpted through. Goes forward enough. No problems there. Waist twist is fine. Hips go pretty far forward. It kicks them out to the side just a little bit. They go back just a little bit. Out to the side really far. A thigh swivel is hidden in the boot. That's awesome. Double jointed knee is good enough. It's good enough. The ankle is actually, like, it's so close to being good. That's why it's so irritating. This whole part from this cuff piece down rotates. So it's essentially a ball hinge ankle. So you can rotate it like this and get a perfect ankle rocker. It's gorgeous. That's awesome. But the foot doesn't fit. You can bring the foot all the way back, like all the way back, because it doesn't connect to the ankle. And it goes forward pretty far too. So you end up with an ankle that is highly functional, but they didn't connect, the feet don't fit on the figure. This is absurd. It's not broken or anything, like, it's pegged in. That's just the way it is. They made it that way. Someone at Hasbro said, hey, what if, guys, now hear me out, what if we didn't connect the feet to the ankles? Wouldn't that be a good idea? And then somebody said, yeah, do it. Ball hinge ankle, perfectly well hidden, perfectly effective. And then they ruined it. This is why I'm mad about this figure. It's so close to being really good, but then they just Hasbro'd the crap out of it and knocked it down all the way, from the top of the ladder to the very bottom. Articulation on this guy gets a 6 out of 10 because of those ankles. Stupid. The rest of it's perfectly acceptable, but those ankles are stupid. Final verdict on this guy. I want to give it a 10 out of 10. I want to so badly. Or at least a 9. But that cape is unforgivably dumb, and then the ankles are insultingly bad. I could get past everything else. Everything else is something I can excuse. Ankles are not excusable. This cape being so lazy, not excusable. So final verdict on this figure is 6 out of 10. You can hide those things well enough so it's not going to look abysmal on the shelf. If you just stand them there, you're not going to see the ankle issue or the cape. You're not going to notice it so much, so it's okay. But holy crap, did they just totally shit the bed on this. Like, they actively did it. It's like they did it on purpose. And that hurts me. It hurts my feeling. I don't like it. So there it is, guys. Let me know what you think about this figure in the comment section below. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to do it. I have new videos out just about every single day. And thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.